One is purely internal, is how do you get your people to understand what we are talking about? Because ESG means a lot of things. There is the environmental impact, there is the governance impact. Here in the US, there's a lot of things around diversity. So understanding what we are talking about, understanding what's in it for the company, and making sure that people enter conversations equipped with proper knowledge of what is at stake. Because if your company is producing chemicals, or if you're in the staffing industry, well, your impact on the planet and on society will be somehow rather different because just of your industry.
Things are changing now. Legislation has teeth. These things are very, very important. But you still can't impose them. It doesn't work. It's been tried. 95% or 95% plus of organizations out there globally are SMEs. And the further you go upstream in the supply chain, the smaller those companies become. And a lot of those companies are struggling to pay the bills. They're struggling to keep the lights on. They don't have the processes or the standards in place. But as we said, that legislation is being pushed out.
When you look at diversity, equality, and inclusion, it's a bit of the same. As an employee, as a colleague, am I better in a workforce that is diverse, where we have a lot of different cultures, a lot of different perspectives on the world? And if that applies with us, will it apply with our suppliers? Do we consider that having a diverse supplier base is useful or not? So start with this internally.
But there is absolutely a recognition that innovation comes through better diversity. It's a fact. It's a fact. I mean, collaboration and innovation is you can't innovate unless you have diversity of thought, for a start. And so that's the key thing. So we are already seeing much more deployment of KPIs and barometers that measure levels of diversity within the supplier ecosystem.
The other way you can embrace that is also by going outside of the building. Meaning we in procurement are really an interface between the internal needs of our company and the market. So go and talk to your suppliers, because there's a good chance that they only do one thing for a living, and they probably do it very well and with a lot of depth. So ask them. So get the knowledge where it is, and they will actually help you understand what you should be doing and why you should be doing.
Embracing sustainability and supply diversity isn't just a checkbox exercise, it's a strategic imperative to stay ahead. Relying on outdated manual input tools such as spreadsheets isn't going to cut it. Forward-thinking companies are leveraging advanced supplier performance platforms as well as supply onboarding technologies with integrated ESG and AI functionality to gain real-time insights into supply performance. These tools tend to have reporting capabilities and dashboard functionalities, so they literally have information at their fingertips.
The fact is, organizations need to create more visibility, not just for them as customers, but for their suppliers. Their suppliers need the visibility. Give the suppliers the visibility, the ownership, the access. Give them involvement. Take them on the journey. It's the only way to make this work. Okay. Otherwise, your ESG, CSR disciplines, programs of improvement aren't going to get much further than your tier one suppliers. Because visibility only goes as far as your tier one. You can't see round bends, you can't see beyond the boundaries of a contract. So you need to bring your suppliers on the journey, they need to bring their suppliers on the journey, and so on and so forth.
It's really hard to get started when it comes to ESG. And one of the things we've found working with our client is to start by making things visible. Okay. And sometimes it's really hard because a lot of the benefits you can find in ESG might be qualitative as opposed to quantitative. So it becomes really hard to track them. So what we've been helping some of our clients do is simply flag their projects as, hey, we've touched the notion of ESG there, be it in terms of sustainable procurement or diversity and inclusion. They're not trying to measure KPIs here. They're just trying to see, to begin with, where they have addressed that question. Once you have done that and you've picked the interest of your C-suite, then that's where you can start industrializing a bit things and make things measurable, set targets to do that. And the moment you set targets, again, if we're talking about procurement, you cannot succeed without your suppliers. So that's where you need to start socializing these goals and these targets with your suppliers. And again, you cannot succeed on your own. So that's where you start engaging the relationship with your supplier, not only on a transactional basis, but also on a more ESG approach, and you work with them to find the right levers you can pull to succeed in that.
It's important to create an equitable place for smaller organizations as well to be involved, to become involved, to take responsibility. This stuff still needs to be done, you know, but if you want to engage, you want to encourage the right behavior, then you need to practice inclusion. You know, you need to bring them along on the journey, make them feel included.
More than ever, technology here can help. It can help track, it can help measure, it can help identify a lot of things that you would not otherwise be able to see. And if I can take an example, we help our client not only identify the spend they have with diverse suppliers, but we can also position them in a benchmark. And the benefit of benchmarks is not only to take pride in the fact that you're good, but it's also looking where you are a laggard, because that's most likely where you will find the low-hanging fruits that will help you actually move the needle and do the right thing. And again, making an assessment of where you are, finding opportunities, and then making sure you follow up on these initiatives and that you track their results. That's the whole panel of things that technology can help our clients achieve when it comes to ESG. And again, if you have data, if you have numbers, if you have trends, if anything does not go your way, or if you want to accelerate on something, it's only when you are equipped with your data, with these data, that you can discuss with the stakeholders or with your suppliers how you can get more.